Hello, with me today I have Tom Like, a technology equity analyst at Singer. Hi Tom, thanks for joining me today.
Pleasure.
Tom, there's been so much written about AI or artificial intelligence over the past few months, and to the uninitiated it must seem very alien. For clarity, could you just explain what artificial intelligence is and how we might start to see it affect our daily lives?
Sure. So artificial intelligence is not necessarily, in the grand scheme, it's not a new technology. It first emanated from the mid-1950s, predominantly in computer science and the advent of computing. What it defines is the replication of human intelligence. So the ability to make decisions and communicate those decisions either verbally, video format, or in picture by an artificial being, so a machine. So it's not something that's brand new. It's obviously very topical now, given generative AI, which is the next evolution of AI. So actually communicating those findings in a human-like, or a human replicable format. And so AI has been powering things for years that people haven't really understood or haven't been aware of. So every time you go onto Netflix, for example, that homepage, there's an AI algorithm underlining all of that there. So in the back end, looking at what you're watching, your behavior patterns, your age group, perhaps, other certain behaviors and people like you, that's feeding into what you're seeing. Other things like e-commerce, so we've all come to expect next day delivery from the likes of Ocado and Amazon. That's all powered by AI. And so actually in the logistics warehousing, the sort of cool buzzy robots and drones flying around, that's all AI powering that. Other things we've got is passport e-gates. Obviously it's summertime now and people go on holiday. So, what maybe the trend of the 21st century, the 20th century might have been, was that, to reduce the cost or ease the congestion, we might have replaced, human controllers or border guards with cameras. And the camera would, take my passport, take my face, and then it might go to someone in a different geography to check whether that's me or not. Actually removing the human element and now having facial recognition technology, that's all underpinned by AI. And so these are things that are going to evolve going forward. So if we take the e-gate example, go to Gatwick or Heathrow, currently the technology just, does my passport match my face? Yes or no? Is there a certain percentile that's allowed straight through? What we could see going forward is perhaps, the imaging and the machine learning and sort of the deep learning there, it could say, is that person, portraying certain behavioral characteristics that a border guard in their previous role would say, okay, they're a bit shifty, eyes are down. Even if they pass the 99 percentile match, we think it's worthy of bringing a human in. And so at that point, the AI is, sort of evolving, and they send the person, even though it is you've, demonstrated a certain behavioral tick or something, still go through to the human. So that's another area. Another huge area is obviously healthcare. There's billions of dollars being spent on AI in healthcare. Oncology is very topical. Cancer backlogs are increasing. Radiology is the discipline of, mapping potential tumors and also, potentially diagnosing whether it's a tumor or not. Currently, that would be done by a clinician who would look at the scans, blow them up, change it around. AI is helping with the sort of imaging and helping the detection, but also in terms of understanding, is that a tumor, is that bone, is that an organ? Currently, it would take a clinician 10, 20 minutes to work through the data, come to understanding, do we think there's a cancer present, do we treat? AI can do that, in seconds, if not minutes. And so what we can do is we can, empower and augment human, sort of interactions and clinicians there, but actually speed up and get the benefits of AI going through. So those are a couple of areas where, clearly going forward, there's going to be quite a big step forward. Things like education as well, we could mention as well. So it's an ever evolving technology.
But the AI boom that we understand now, we're going through now, is a fairly recent thing, isn't it? It's this year, just February time, wasn't it?
Yes, yeah. So AI, I mean, we spoke before off camera about back in 2017, there's a big breakthrough. German scientists cracked the Enigma code in, I think it was 13 minutes. So, the whole years of Bletchley Park, sort of research was undone in 13 minutes. And funny enough, the algorithm that was based on machine learning, so neural networks that did that, it was trained to detect German by 200, Grimm brothers fairy tales. So the algorithm that cracked the Enigma code effectively was trained on Hansel and Gretel and Rapunzel, which is, quite topical, but clearly it's not been around for a while. it's this generative AI and ChatGPT that's really taken it to the next level. So actually we can replicate or replace humans and have a human-like outcome rather than just, having a human use the data. The data can sort of replace the human. That's what's really kicked on.
And then you've got school kids using it to
Exactly.
cheat on their homework
Yeah,
and
of
things
course,
like that.
yeah.
Absolutely. So what level of disruption are we likely to see over the next few years? We're already seeing and hearing about the amazing things that ChatGPT can do and others. But do you think there will be a big eureka moment that sort of takes us to the next level?
It's difficult. I'd be hesitant to say there's going to be a big bang. It's going to be a slow evolving theme. This is a decade-long theme, like digital transformation, the move from analog to digital. This is a huge theme, and so there's going to be different breakthroughs at different times, whether there's a eureka moment or not. ChatGPT, for example, is a good one. I went on a site visit to northern Italy a couple of months ago. When I was there, I thought I'd quickly, swat up on graphene. To my dismay, ChatGPT was banned in Italy at the time. The authorities had banned it, and so it's now subsequently allowed, but regulators are grappling with how much they allow it to influence our lives. And so the oncology example that I gave earlier, clearly we can see a lot of benefits to using AI. However, there's very large legal and regulatory implications. If you're a patient, would you trust a machine or an artificial being to detect your cancer or your tumor as opposed to a human? These are quite large things that regulators will be grappling with for years to come.
That regulatory angle is an interesting one because we're all already worried about how it might affect our daily lives. Do you think there would have to be some sort of joined up regulatory approach?
I think so. I think that there's always change. That's the very nature of technology. And so I think if AI is thought about in the correct aspect, so not the sort of Luddite approach of it's going to replace human jobs, clearly that will happen in certain labours. But I think of it more like a coming industrial revolution. So, I studied history at university. The Industrial Revolution was the shift from the economy of created by hand to created by machine. What we could be going through now is the created by machine with a human in the loop and augmented or enhanced by AI. And so that's something that regulators will have to grapple with, and the sort of societal aspect of it is important, but also where does the buck stop? Who is actually responsible for the decisions being made? How far do we let it run?
Tom Like, technology analyst at Singer, thanks ever so much for joining me today.
Pleasure.